Hello, this is Benny. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Donald's podcast. Um, how if you're new to this, what I am going to be doing is discussing. I'm using McDonald's as the baseline because McDonald's is the business I know and understand completely, and it's just beautiful to me. But I am explaining how business, the jobs you have, the managers you work for, everything affects your entire life. Alright, so no, today I was working not at McDonald's. I don't work at McDonald's. Person I work with, she's very open about how she's aware that she's not doing anything with her life. She's existing and not living, and then she's going to this job where, again, existing and not living. Because every job, especially the company that I work for, it's everything is designed to make it where you do very little. Like, it's not all of them, all the positions. Some positions do crazy amount of work, but they make it where anyone can do it, and where anyone can do it for an extended amount of time, say 20 years. Whenever you are existing and then going to a job where you're not even fulfilling your own desire of work, we all are workers. That's what we do. We're like ants. Stay tuned. One day in the future, I'm going to study ants because there's a huge correlation between us and them, and it's amazing. But everyone, me, for a while, whenever I was at McDonald's, I went back to McDonald's and I got promoted manager because I'm the best, right? And it was just so unfulfilling. McDonald's before COVID, it was wild because, everyone loves McDonald's. But COVID after, it's just, lobby was closed. When I came back, lobby was closed, all day breakfast is gone, limited menu, so it's the easiest job in the world. And I would just kind of stand there, and the whole objective of the day was to figure out how to occupy yourself. At the occupation you have. Yeah, there's many smart people, philosophers, all of them are saying that what did I just say? I lost it. That the occupation, the word occupation is the whole, they named it occupation because you're occupying yourself, you're occupying your time. You exist for an insanely amount of time. From birth to death, you were here for a long time. If nothing is done in between, oh my gosh, right? I gotta occupy yourself. That's why it's occupation. It's that you're going to job and you're not even getting occupied. You're just wasting time. You're just wasting air and space. Yeah, eats at you. Really, really does. I've had after McDonald's showed me my work ethic, I went to, where'd I go? Walmart, and I was working in the dairy, and I had very little responsibilities in the dairy. I've mentioned this before, I've had to keep the egg stocked, milk stocked, tea stocked. That was the bare minimum requirement for my position. So there was at least 6 hours of slack time. I couldn't get myself to do extra work because why am I going to do work when I can get paid to do nothing? That mentality I had. And I just, at first I was working there and then working nights at McDonald's. So not nights, I would work 9:55 p.m. to 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. I would work 3 hours every night because I didn't want to leave. I liked closing, and it was awesome. But then I quit McDonald's to have more time in my personal life with my fiance, and that job in Walmart was not satisfying me in any sort of way. I felt home. I went home just more timid every time. Every day went by because I was not doing anything. And then everything around me made no sense. If you ever even seen how Walmart functions, it's crazy because even if everything doesn't work, it doesn't matter because there's so much in there to buy. If you don't stock the freezers for 2 days, it doesn't matter. And that was a really stressor on me, the importance of how unimportant everything is. Woo! yeah, so I don't. Yeah, there you go, Benny. What's up? Basically, right. So it's so many people. There's so many people in the world that have so many problems. They have so many problems. When you're at work, you're having to work and be away from the problems, and it just sucks because say you have the easier job, say you're at a McDonald's and you're in the back cash, and in between, like, you can't go around talking to everyone like everyone else because you're secluded in the back. Say you're doing like dishes is goal oriented. You do have a sense of accomplishment, but if you have like the order takers at McDonald's, like them, the fry cook, like if you have enough people in the kitchen and you have the guy just doing the fryers, those kind of positions, they really kind of bring you down because the less you do, the less your brain's working. The less your brain's working, the less you're stimulated, and it's all one in one. And you, yeah. I don't know if I'm even talking right now, guys. What I'm getting at is, I really don't have much. I'm tired. I'm so sorry. I may make a really short cast for you fellas, but right now, in this the COVID world we're in, it's going to be the post-COVID world at some point. If anyone listening, if you have theories of alternate dimension, parallel universes, if you believe those kind of things, believe that it's just infinite existence, we're in a different world, man. Say you were living on Earth 9.1. Right now we're on like Earth 11.3. We skipped a couple. The advancements that we would have had in 10 years are like happening now. You saw how overnight basically we went from no one in the world would do delivery. Now we're doing curbside pickup for restaurants. That's wild. They have curbside delivery. They have the Postmates, that world, the Grubhubs, that transformed us. This whole Zoom thing, Gary V, he's all like, someone asked him, he was like, do you think things are gonna go back to the way they were? And he was like, no. Are you kidding? I used to have like no one, a lot of people, they would not do a video call for a meeting. You wanted you in person. I don't have to fly all over the world anymore. Like, I can just pop open a Zoom meeting, have the meeting, and then go back in there and play with my kids. We are stepping into the world we're becoming is immensely different. The expectations are way different. The self-entitlement is way higher. Everything. We as humans are like, I deserve way more than that. And America, the consumerism of America, they're like, damn right, you Americans deserve way more than that. Come buy these cars, no expense. I don't know, whatever they do. From the moment you wake to sleep, you are thinking differently because of the existence of the COVID. And it's crazy. I'm gonna stop saying COVID because I hate when people say COVID. I like coronavirus. Because whenever it was coronavirus and then COVID-19, that name started popping around, and then Trump being like, COVID. Yeah, it's like people trying to be cooler than the people saying coronavirus. It's crazy. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Hey, everyone. Yeah, but basically, you are, hold on. I think I'm going to read this message real quick. Never mind, Dakota's just a retard. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, I'm driving. Daily Donald's is always mobile, my friends. Post-COVID world, just think about that. I'll talk about it exclusively one day. I think it's just to kind of be a bit around just me talking about shit. I don't like cussing. Me personally do not like to cuss unless if it is comical, exasperational, exaggerational. If it puts emphasis on what I'm trying to say, I do. If it's just a word that comes out, it's usually gross. You know, I built the cursing habit back when my life started flipping around. This anger started coming out of me. Some curse words every now and then, more frequently, everywhere. Slowed down. Now it's not often. But yeah, no, I was talking to the person that was very very knowledgeable of what's wrong with them. Um, it's sad for a lot of jobs. I know because you're either have seen it or you're the person who does it. I'm the person who does it. I can get away with a lot when I work because I just know how. I dare anyone tell on me for saying this. I know how to flow through the system because I have the manager eyes. You know the manager eyes, like say McDonald's. You walk in. Every time I walked in, back when I cared about McDonald's, like when I was employed and cared, I would walk through the doors because you had to go through the sliding doors to enter the register area. I would go through these doors, not sliding doors, the swinging doors. I'd go in, and then I would notice everything going on, take a glance through the kitchen, look around, see who's here. I already knew who was scheduled. I had the whole day planned out, schedules, breaks, everything. Everything was planned. I would do that when I was in freaking college. I'd be in class, history class in college, pull up the work schedule, be like, all right, I'm going to have Jimmy here, I'm going to have him there, I'm going to have them switch around a little bit. He's going to take care of this. Around 7, I'm going to have him do that while he's doing. Like, I had the whole day planned before I clocked in. But I would walk in and I would see everything that is good and wrong with what's going on. I'd see how compiled the screens are. I just noticed everything. I'd walk by, notice the bread, notice the UHC, notice the grills, notice who's in the kitchen, how they're talking, what's going on, the esteem everyone has. There was not one thing that usually got missed when I walked through. Manager eyes. I'm proud of them. Whenever I get a new job, I'm always excited to do a job. I'm like, I finally get to apply myself and stop being this lazy sack of lazy. And I get the job, and then I see how pointless the job is. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I do the job as right as possible until I start seeing all the flaws and the holes, what the managers don't notice, what the managers don't even notice. Yeah, so why I hate when people are annoying. I'm so annoying. So I find the holes and I fill them up. I find the holes and the flaws in the system that is created by the managers above me, and if they're okay with me not doing the job, I don't do the job. When they were getting strict at McDonald's, it was a team. It was me, Bradley, and my dad. And every night, because we were all closers, he closed on the weekends. We got stuff done. We were getting it done because there were so many expectations for us to get it done. And we were supposed to start scrubbing the floor 6 times a day, service and kitchen area. And I went from doing it my shifts 3 times a day to 2 times a day to 1 times a day, to me doing a really awesome mop technique I discovered for my final mop of the day to make it look like it was scrubbed, because they never cared. They never noticed, and they would know that I didn't scrub, but yet it's not enforced. And I was just so mad, like, if this is a rule, why? Like, I know you're trusting me to do it, but I'm not doing it. Why am I allowed to get away with everything? So I learned how to make the store work for me. I did everything in my power to make sure everything ran the way it's supposed to. But then I cut all the corners I could, the legal, political corners. I didn't do anything obscene, just instead of scrubbing the floor at right times, I would not. I would break down at times that were not allowed. I would do things my way, and it always worked out because I knew how to run the kitchen per my staff, per me, per how I run things. And I knew how crappy the store was being ran by how much I was allowed to get away with. And I that's a lot of people do that. You see the smartest, you work with people and they're smart, and you see them just kind of get along with the job, and then they don't even do it. You'll be like, hey, aren't you supposed to do that? And you're like, yeah, but they don't even notice. And you know, every time you get a job and they're like, hey, I'm not supposed to do this, but I do it anyway. Everyone says that. There is not one person, you rarely find, you can't find someone who follows the policy. Policies are never, they're so perfect. McDonald's policy book, everything, every single technique in that store is beautiful and perfect, yet it is probably never efficiently followed. I'd love to see that. People using the black Hutzler efficiently. Oh. But yeah, dude, I know how to not work. I know what the managers expect. They know I can do it because the way I talk myself up where they know I'm able to accomplish things, and I'm always able to accomplish it when they really need and expect me to. But most of the time I do the work that is required. I don't do it the fastest, and I don't always do it correctly. And it's not that I am trying to get away with it, it's just I can do the job right, but I don't do it my way. I don't do it the fast way. I don't do it my right way. My right way would be completing it. But I haven't had motivation in forever. When you go to a job, your motivation is them yelling at you. No! My motivation is the people I work for. I go to work, and if the person in charge is a very respectful person, and they actually care about the job because they have to care, and they're doing what they can to make sure you are able to work your best for them, that's your friend, because they're going to go out of their way to make the job easier for you, so you work harder for them. That's my motivation. I'm motivated by the person doing the job, not the job, because the job doesn't matter. Like, and yes, it's sucky that I say this, but it doesn't. Like, managers, I said the word managers. What am I talking about? Because jobs are sucky. Is that what I just said? Okay, I'm going to have to cut this short because I have family over and I'm about to be home. But the job in everyday life, it doesn't matter, because say you're working McDonald's and you don't press a timer all day on the UHCs. No, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If you're doing it, like, the real person knows there's food in there. He knows how much is in there, how long it's been in there. He knows how fast the food's going out. Like, if you don't have to do the job right ever, it doesn't matter. You can go to a job and do nothing for 4 years, get away with it, and it costed the company nothing. It's like you could increase the profit for the company, but why would it matter? I'm not 30, pretend. I'm a 30-year-old. I got divorced. She took the kids. Hey, sir. You ever think about getting a bike bell for your bike? A little ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding for your bicycle? Yeah, I'm trying to get some add-on sales. What the boss told me to. Oh, don't forget the helmet. Oh, you need these knee pads too. Shoulder pads? Oh yeah, we'll get you some shoulder pads. Oh, want some cleats? Dude, we'll make sure you are decked out on your bicycle, little boy. Like, at Toys R Us, I felt when I was getting trained on the computer at Toys R Us. It said, for the register, customer, ding ding. It said, you are empowered to help the customer get 15 to 25% off. I was like, heck yeah. Because that was pre-COVID. That was jobs were jobs. That was life. Not the case anymore. But it's just crazy that the company. Oh, dude, I saw a sign today. What did I see? Okay, so at the job I work at, it said, commit yourself to the job and do not let anything else get in the way. It says something like that. Real life, this evil corporation I work for, oh my God, Can you what? It really said that. It's just a little motivational sign, just right there where the employees are always walking. It said, "Commit yourself to the job and don't let anything else get in the way." No, no. I believe that it should be looked at where the people, they are doing a job. That's all they're doing. The only reason a lot of people are going to the facility you were working in is because they were trying to get money, and this is where they currently work at. That is the only reason people are doing the things that they are doing. And managers, a lot of the times, they think that the employees care. And I used to think that. I thought everyone cared until I got a job that I hated, and I was like, oh, huh. I don't care. No one cares. What's the point of anything? And there is no point. And I think the managers should start seeing people as people and understand that, like, oh God, I don't think Benny, he's not really feeling well today because his stomach is constantly attacking him. He has IBS. I don't think he's gonna really care about how fast he gets those. Let's say I'm working at McDonald's. Get those McChickens out. Because it kind of hurts whenever time he bends over a little bit to get the buns, you know? It hurts him a little bit. He's not going on that fast. Benny, hurry up on the dishes. My fucking stomach hurts, dude. Okay, I'll hurry up. And my splish splash, they don't get any faster. My splish splash stays a splish splash. Ain't no splish splash taking a bath. It's a splish splash taking a bath. And then the boss says, "Hey, hurry up." I'm like, "Aye, aye, Captain." You know how fast my splish splash goes? It goes, splish splash, I was taking a bath. It doesn't speed up. You don't speed up. Anytime I've ever been told to go faster, I don't. And you know what happens? Nothing. That's how it is. And then the people who are not on that side, people who can't do what I know how to do, they have to care and try their best every single time. Every day. These people are having to stress and do their best, and I'm just kind of like, because I don't stress because I'm doing the job that my position is required to do. I'm not doing the job the manager is demanding. Oh God, you know what just happened? Oh wait, this is very vague. I keep saying McDonald's. Yeah, I won't get in trouble for anything. If I do, I'll find out what to do. So, yeah, this is the end of the cast for this day. The other one was huge. Remember that 50-hour one? Woo! No, so everything I was discussing is the world we are living in now does not have the same demand on you as it did in the past. The demand now is that of a service. You're doing a service job. Someone mows your yard, that's a service because you didn't do it. You going to work and doing this job is now a service. That is the mentality of it, and I don't think people know that quite yet. I think people still see it as a job, but it's no longer a job. It's you providing for everyone. That's what it is now. And I think that's what is going to be in the future, and I'm so glad I discovered myself now because I can help guide this from now to whenever I die, guide the workmanship, because we're headed to a weird future. If you know about the blockchain, you know. If you know about NFTs, you know. If you know about crypto, you know. Just that world is gonna change anything you've ever even conceptualized. And say what? We go into the future of a cashless society. You ready for that? That's gonna happen, and I've only heard bad things religiously about it. We are headed to a future where we are going to be so united by the fact that we are so divided. And it's so weird. The transition everyone's gone through, the entitlement that is there now, because everyone just almost died, and now you're going to work and getting yelled at because you ain't flipping the patties just right. And then it's just your overall mentality of life is different. You can't keep going to work with the same mentality you had 2 years ago. It's not the same. And this is a little tip for anyone hearing this. Anyone, if you get a job and you don't feel comfortable with people, the trick that I do that works for me, I'm just gonna say what I do and see if anything comes out of it. I talk to people and get them. I talk to people like no one else talks to people. People talk to people like people talk to people when they're at work. I talk to people like you're in a house together. I'm like, hey, what's your favorite cereal? I don't know. I get people to talk about not work, and it's tremendously a different environment than if you discuss work. And but if you're on a comfortable level to discuss stuff outside of work, discussing work is more pleasurable than it was before. At first, you're like, I don't know. I probably cooked those 20 minutes ago. I don't know. And someone's like, hey, Benny, I had some Pop-Tarts last night, the ones you told me about. Woo! Hey, how long did you cook those for? How long ago did you cook those? Oh, like 20 minutes. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, man. See, that's a whole different vibe. And then I let people know about me. I don't know if it works, but I always talk about myself, even though I know no one in the world is interested in about you, unless if you make them interested about you, because everyone is only interested in themselves. My biggest pet peeve in the world is people always saying you can't teach new dogs old tricks, old dogs new tricks, and I've always, there's this one man, it took me years to get this one individual to wear gloves. Okay, it took me years to get him to change the gloves when they were dirty. It took me years to get him to wash his hands when he entered the kitchen after leaving the bathroom. And I would go to the manager, not just about him, everyone else. I'm like, I can't get these people to do this because they just get mad when I said, why do people get so mad when you tell them to change their gloves? I don't understand that. I have pissed so many people off. I have been one guy, he said, Benny, do not fucking tell me what to do. He got so mad at me. He was sweeping, picked up a raw, fucking mushy ass piece of patty from under the freezer. I was probably there from the night before, and went to go wrap a McChicken. And I said, nay. This was back when I was a child, before even management was considerable. I was like, you can't, please change your gloves. Do not tell me what to do. It was crazy. But I would go to the manager about this, and she'd be like, well, we can't teach old dogs new tricks. I'm like, yes, you can. You just gotta teach it to them. What do you mean? They just have to, they have to understand why the new trick needs to be applied. And you cannot change someone unless if you alter their reality. This is an insight that I had one night on a crazy adventure I had alone. You can change someone, but you have to alter their reality. If you are living in the home to work every single day life, and on days off you're at home, that's your reality. You cannot change that. Like, it's really hard to change that. But if your relative comes along for a week and every single day they take you somewhere you haven't done something in a while, like they take you bowling, golfing, they're altering your reality. They're showing you a whole new perspective, a whole new way you can be. And I go to people and I'm just like, I alter the reality. They're so angry and stuck in their head, and I'm a weird person. Topics that I'm interested in come out of my mouth, and they're like, okay, yeah. Sometimes I get some that stick, but like, I just kind of show like, hey, I'm just a goof. I'm gonna help you out. And then eventually people start warming up to me and start realizing my actual character and how they can use me. I always put myself in a position where I can get used, because I'm really good at helping, and it builds that bond with people. And since I don't know how to talk to people, that's the approach I take. People warm up to me and they start going, oh, Benny's here. Okay, hey, what's up? And it's because you're just so used to the job I have now. Every time an associate comes up to me and like says something to me, like people that don't work in my area, I think they always expect me to have that angry, douchey 22-year-old male attitude. And I'm like, oh, hello, yeah, okay, really, you did that? Nah. And they're just kind of like, oh, like, I see it all the time when people talk to me. The way I reply is unexpected to them, but then I also talk as if we had already been friends, and you're used to the way I talk. I talk to them like that, and then they can't tell if they're offending me or not, and it's crazy. But the more they talk to me, the more they're like, oh, it's just this cool guy. And that's the approach I take. Is I get real personable. I de-workinize the situation and popularize it with personality, and it always works because no one wants to be at work. Everyone is angry at work. You gotta let people know, like, hey, I did an action today where I took some items to another associate, different part of the store. I knew beforehand that they would be slightly annoyed that I'm doing this, but it was what I had to do, and I was like, hello, I was told to make a delivery, and they were like, okay, and I was like, all right, what can I do to help you right now? And then they're like, oh, okay. Instead of being like, here you go, and walking away, I I take a little kid kind of approach to it and be like, hey, we have to do this. How do we do it? And then I get the other person's, because I know the answer all the time. Always know what to do. When I got trained in my current position, I asked a trillion questions that I did not need to ask, but I kept asking and asking and asking and asking so I can learn more and learn it from each individual person on how they do the job. But now I asked everyone in my area the same question. Each person told me something different. Each person grew a bond with me a little bit more because I listened to their knowledge, and I got 10 different perspectives on how to do the same job. So so all the situations, I'm more equipped with the knowledge because everyone has learned their own way to do something because of different situations. And I acquire that by going, oh, how do you do that? And I ask every person. I always do. I don't. It's just how I am. Like, it helps me learn because sometimes I overthink everything, but it's because I need to know everything about something so I can just do it. The first time I was told to scrub the floor at Donald's, my dad was in the office and I was like, hey, I understand how to scrub, but I don't understand how and why and what the goal necessarily is. Can you give me a blueprint of it? He was like, just scrub the floor. And I was like, oh, okay, just scrub it. So I figured out what that meant, and every time I did it, I was like, okay. And then I would ask some people their scrubbing techniques. It's everything. You can ask, if you're working at McDonald's right now, dude, and if you're newer, ask, if you're, just ask everyone how they flip a patty. You'll build such a bond with them. Hey, can you show me how you flip that patty? I don't think I do it right. Ask everyone. Hey, I'm going to watch you real quick. I want to see what order you put the buns down in that order, because I don't think I put them down efficiently. Hey, I'm going to watch you. Can you like give me some dish techniques real quick? Because the way I do it, I don't think would be efficient enough. Everyone has knowledge. Everyone wants their opinion to be heard. I try this. Try de-workanizing the situation and over-personalizing the situation. Not everyone's going to accept you. Maybe some people you can tell will be harder to get to. A little bit at a time. I found a toy at Dollar General one time. It was like a little egg, like chalk, and you would pick at it with a little pickaxe, like it was a dinosaur fossil egg, and there would be a little dinosaur thing inside of it, and you had to hit it, like you had to go boop, 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 over and over and over and over, and like you were carving it. It's like that every single day. Put a little chip in it. Like the one lady I work with, I knew it would be a little while before she, like, because I'm not even in her reality. Like, I could have there's a couple people in my departments that I could talk to, and it's like I don't even exist to them. They're just talking. But those kind of people, just a little bit at a time, I throw in a little haha comment, a little bonding, a little question, a little over appreciation of what they're doing. It's all genuine coming from me, but I put it out there, and then that's it. And I just kind of go away, do my job, come back, maybe a little haha, that was really cool what you just did. Because genuinely, I do believe what I say, but then I say it. That's the difference. Saying and thinking. Well, Daily Donalds. Please subscribe, follow, like, tweet. I don't tweet. Hey, and if this is only on YouTube right now, but comment. Anytime you do anything, just comment. If you have any questions about anything, or statements, or anything, comment. I'm home. Goodbye. Thank you for listening and watching. I just talked for exactly 34 minutes.